Alright, welcome back to Let's Play Satisfactory. I'm returning back to Oil City. I haven't been here in quite a while. And this place is a... I started... This is where I left off before I really got into blueprints, so this brings back some memories. I didn't make any of this stuff with blueprints. There's no blueprints at all in any of these refineries or any of this oil production and power production down in here. So let me give you a tour and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So when I first started playing this game, I was just trying to go through all the space elevator parts, all the phases, so I made this whole thing to boost my power and also to get some plastic and rubber for phase 3 parts. So I'm not even using all of the nodes, and I don't think these are overclocked, but this one looks like it is. Am I overclocking this one? Alright, yeah, a little bit. So I'm overclocking this up to 360. I was trying to balance everything in my fuel. So these two nodes here are bringing crude oil down into my power building down here, and that's all that these two are doing. I have 2 empty nodes still out over that way. I'll show those in a minute. So these are running my fuel plant. Just plain fuel. None of this stuff is overclocked at all. Just those two extractors are overclocked by 1, just to produce a little bit more to make this balance. So I've got 2 banks of power generation. This first one is refineries, and then 2 banks of fuel generators. Is that what they're called? What are they called? Yeah, fuel power generator. So, yeah, these are making my fuel and also polymer resin, which is just being synced. And then those 6 refineries are then powering or providing fuel for these 12 fuel generators. And then over here on the other side, I have plastic, rubber, and fuel, packaged fuel. That's all going back via train. Here I'm making rubber, and I've got 6 refineries making rubber, and then that all produces, as a byproduct, the heavy oil residue. And then I'm pumping that heavy oil residue over to my residual fuel to make fuel. This is all of the fuel that's going back that I'm using for my jetpack, and I'm using for my tractors too. So that's being packaged and then going back and over to the train. I've got plastic coming in here, and that's being made over there. Those refineries. Heavy oil residue and plastic, and these 6 refineries, and sending that back down here for the fuel packaging. And then this plastic is going back, and some of it's being split off for fuel containers to be made. First thing I want to do is take care of my polymer resin byproduct in my fuel plant and use that to make some more plastic. So I should get an extra 120 plastic by using that polymer resin from here. Eventually, what I think I'll do is make this entirely my plastic operation, and then move this whole fuel plant. Once I make another one somewhere else, then I'll be able to remove this and use this space for more plastic. So a couple of things that I've noticed here. I had some of this paused, and I'm trying to figure out why. I think part of it's because I'm not making enough plastic to be able to consume all of this fuel and package it and bring it out. So I did notice I had 1 or 2 rubber plants here that weren't set up right, and I probably should fix that so we don't clip through here too. And then over here I am making all this fuel, and I'm not able to package it all. So then that's stopping the heavy fuel residue from being consumed, which is then stopping, I think, hopefully just the rubber plants. I don't want to stop the production of the plastic plants here, plastic refineries. I did have some of these paused, and it looks like this is not able to do something here. Yes, it's the heavy oil residue. I'm not able to process that enough. And the other thing I want to just tidy up here before I get started on the build is understand why I had these off, because I just turned those two on. So now I've got 4 more that are off, and I'm pretty sure I was doing this before to just let all the pipes fill up, because I've got 50 in here. So let's start this one too. And let's start this one too. And I've got 2 more over there. I mean, that's 4 I've started. Now I have over 10,000 megawatts of capacity. And I could really just, I could use that. Now let's get these last 2, and I think that's gonna help. I think that's gonna work. Yeah, I've got 50 in here. And I've got 50 in here too. Now let's see what was my capacity with all those on. 10,800. And then the blueprint is, I'd say done. So this has 2 refineries in it, and a input and an output section with options to choose if you want liquids or conveyor stuff going in, and then the same thing coming out depending on what you choose. So more of a general thing. All of that's down underneath these catwalks here, with some lighting and then some accent lighting back here, some organizational stuff, and then I'll have to figure out a way, but I made a catwalk all the way up here too, so you could just take in the views. So now I'm gonna put those over here on this blank pad. The Mark 1 blueprinter, you can't, through the fog, you can't really put a pad underneath this one, so it's just gonna sit on top. And just for try to be more efficient with making 6 refineries together, and then I'm gonna have my residual plastic come up this way right here, and I'll cover it or something, get some stuff going through on that one. And then I'll still have my other logistics level down here, and then down at the bottom I'll have a water extractor, and I'm pretty sure I'll need a pump to bring that all the way up there. So I'm gonna zoop those all in. Yeah, so I've got my blueprints in here. 3 buildings. I think that looks pretty wild. And I made a little spot down here for a couple of water extractors. Those are kind of a pain to line up. Have to figure out how to do that better. And then just some area down here to reserve for stuff. And I'm just gonna hook up my logistics in here. I got this side all hooked up. I don't have anything coming out, but just for fun, we're gonna throw up some pipes in here. In terms of, you know, the liquids coming out. And then I'm just throwing in some Mark IV conveyor belts to connect all this together, because I didn't calculate to see how much is coming out. Well, I did, but I forgot what it is. So that's everything coming out right there. And then I'll also have to do my power. I've got 3 lights in there. I think that'll look pretty cool. I'm gonna figure out how to do my power, and then eventually I'll go ahead and throw in make a blueprint to cap this off, and then have a door entry over here. I don't think it's gonna be anything crazy, just like more of a box kind of feel. But I might come out one right here. Oh, what's hurting me? Oh, that plant was not happy about me. I'm going to now. First, I'm going to do is get this operational. So I'm going to get my water running up into here. I'm going to finish up the power, which is going to start just by connecting these two together. This one and this one, just to get these all connected. Run power down underneath here too for my water extractors, and then figure out power for up here, and then make this not floating either. So a few more things to figure out, but it's coming along pretty nice. But a hole Mark IV belt is now delivering the polymer resin this way. And if we go down here, it's going to deliver it all the way over to this refinery up here. I also spent some time and did a little bit of electrical work. And it's going to load up everything and then send plastic out through this magic hole and into this lift, and then merge it into here. All right, so I think it's working. Let's let it run for a little bit, and I'll be back there to check on it. But here's what we're doing. So the polymer resin coming from my fuel plant is going into this refinery in here, where I'm combining it with water, and it's making my plastic. Now, I set this up so it should be perfect, like in terms of 100% efficiency. And so this one's loading up, this one's loading up, this one's loading up, and this one, and then the last one. Are we actually making anything yet? All right. So a manifold system with all of this, so it's slowly loading all of these up. That last one should eventually catch up. Right now there's just a ton coming through because I had it stop for a minute. So these should all run just exactly perfect. And then what is this, a Mark II? And then I'm making 20 per minute. So I'm making 120 per minute, so this should always be full. Now I've changed this down here, and it's delivering all of the plastic from the refineries on the other side of these banks here. And I just did a smart splitter. So the center is going to send all the plastic into the fuel production area, fuel packaging area, and then the rest of any overflow is just going to combine in through right here. So I will at least get 120 per minute plus a little bit. I think I'm making 120 over there, and I'm only needing 60 in here. So I should be getting 180 in total, and that will get me a lot closer to the 200 that I need for computers and circuit boards. I'm now at full packaged fuel production for my tractors to do more stuff. Look at that whole line of fuel. Maybe I better make sure I'm making enough here. So it's Mark II. Let's see if I'm Mark II everywhere. And I'm making 40 per minute, so 120. So this should always be full like that. I'm making 30 per minute, so Mark I's coming out are fine. It's like this one is stopped up. So let's go ahead and rebuild this one. Like those are connected, so that should be going in there now, and you are going in there too. Not really worried about the colors at the moment, but yeah. So let's see, a little bit of math, making 30 per minute. I have 12 refineries, so 30 times 12, where'd my times go? So 360, so a 480 belt should be fine. And that was what I was planning for with having 3 refineries to make that into plastic. This was my first building with my attempt at making something with more depth and more design, but no blueprints through this entire thing at all. I think what I'm going to do is keep this as like a central conveyor system where I can have all my parts come in from over there or something too. and then have these buildings, the same building over here, just facing it. So I'll have my other fuel coming in. So that's it for this one. We are running. We'll see how everything stables out here in the long run, but I think it looks pretty cool. All right, see you later.